We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Hey, Tig. Want to talk DOS games? What do you say we do our top 5s of all time? This will probably be slightly sketchy because we're saying like top DOS games, but I bet you some of us are going to screw up a little bit. We do not profess to be experts by any stretch. No. So, all right, why don't you get us started off? What's your number 5?
I'm going to go with a classic.
Okay.
Where in the world
is Carmen Sandiego? Yes.
That was a great game, right? Everyone probably was playing that at the same time. Everybody was into that when it came out.
You know where I first played that? On the Sega Master System.
Did you really?
Sega Master System had Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
That was the first time you played it?
Yeah.
But that was a great game.
Wasn't that like a game that even like schools would have?
Yeah,
right?
I guess because it was
sort of educational.
I was gonna say, like, as far as games went, I guess it was the closest to being educational as other games. Yeah. But that was a great game. It was, you had to solve problems. You remember it, right? And there would be like the footprints walking, and you don't know if. So that would be my number 5.
Yeah, you had to use your brain. No, that's a cool.
And then eventually they had the TV show, right? Didn't Nickelodeon have Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
That could be. I don't remember.
I think it came, but I think it was way later. Like, we were probably too old to watch it.
Yeah. Heroes of Might and Magic.
Oh, I remember that.
Specifically 1 and 2. 2 was my favorite one. Heroes of Might and Magic 2. And of course I had the expansion as well, The Price of Loyalty. Remember when PC games actually came with like cool stuff? Look at this instruction book.
Yeah, look how thick that is.
Yeah. I loved Heroes of Might and Magic 2 specifically. I think 3 is universally regarded as the best one, but I actually like 2 more than I do 3. It's sort of a strategy game. So you have these castles, and you have like your little hero who wanders around the land, and he picks up monsters who become his army, and so you build up your city and your castle while you're capturing these different places and trying to outmaneuver bad guys, and it's like it combines my 2 favorite genres, which is strategy and RPG.
Right.
Loved it. Yeah, super fun series. And actually, I still legitimately play this game to this day.
SimCity 2000.
I love The Sims. I still play 3000 regularly.
The PC games, which I always liked, was you could tweak them because you could go into them,
right?
And you could change things. So if I lost a lot of money, and I could give myself $10,000, because you could go into the program itself and like.
Yeah, I love the Sim.
It was
Sim
great.
Series. The only reason why it's not on my list is because 3000 is my favorite version of SimCity.
And it wasn't DOS.
Exactly.
Eric's number 4.
My number 4. Where's my stuff?
Where's his stuff? He's been searching for hours while I've been drinking beer.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm going to name a specific game. I'm also going to count the entire series.
Okay.
And the specific game I'm mentioning, Pool of Radiance, but I'll also shout out the entire series called the Gold Box. Curse of the Azure Bonds, Secret of the Silver Blades, Pool of Darkness. Earlier than that, Pool of Radiance was initially on the C64. Remember this crap?
Holy crap.
The copy protection?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, terrible. These were like the first attempt to do Dungeons and Dragons on the computer and really like replicate it in detail. Yeah, look at this. Look at the book.
Like, this is thicker than
that's a novels.
Yeah. Could you imagine reading this for a game?
And what's cool about this series, when you finish the first game, when you got the second, you can import your saved game and your characters.
Oh.
So your characters could go through the whole series, through the first 4.
I think the only other thing I can think of that Quest for Glory or whatever it was called.
Oh, yeah. Quest for Glory did that. Yeah, they were great.
Keep going or something.
Man, I could have had them down on my list, too. That was a good series.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Do you remember Arena? The Elder Scrolls? Obviously you do. I remember when DOS games were out, everybody's dream was if they just came out with a game where you could just roam around. That was like every nerd's dream.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And Arena kind of allowed that to a point, which wasn't really like a thing prior to that, right? It was, but
fairness, the Ultima series did that before there, but in a much different way. And you're right. Arena was groundbreaking. Very cool choice. So my number 3. Again, I'm going to do like the whole series thing.
Okay.
Officially, since this is DOS games, I'm saying 2, but what I'm showing is 3.
Yeah.
That's what I have on hand. But the Civilization series, I would say it's probably either my first or second favorite game series of all time. I have many times found myself caught up where it's 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's very easy
I've
to
gotta-
lose track of time with that game.
Oh yeah, I love them. Whoever doesn't love Civ,
It's dead
gesture,
inside.
gesture there. All right, so give me your
Round
number
2?
Yeah, give me your number 2.
2 is the first Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh, sexy.
Leisure Suit Larry was one of the first games that was adult, and I remember playing that for the first time and being like, oh my god, this is not for kids. At the time, the door in the room with the computer stayed closed while I was playing because I was afraid my parents would walk in and see like Leisure Suit Larry in a hot tub with like some chick or something.
Yeah, with the bubbles like right strategically placed. I'm really glad that you had that on your list, as well as your the first one that you had mentioned, because unfortunately none of those point and clicks are on my list. But aside from RPG and strategy, that's my go-to. Yeah, check that. And Leisure Suit Larry is now on mobile.
I'm going to be downloading that after we're done with
Yeah,
this.
you gotta check it out. So
This is Eric's number 2.
number 2, I'm once again gonna do the same thing I've been doing the whole time and say series. I'm talking series. Who recognizes that? Or we'll go to side. Do you recognize that? Talking about the Might and Magic series. These were slightly open world, but not quite the same as like Arena, as you mentioned. I absolutely love those games, and still like to revisit them. Just every single one of them I absolutely love. So, all right, what is your number one?
My number 1, it could be a series, but I'll just pick the one because the one out of the series is my favorite all time, and anyone that knows me, King's Quest 3.
I was gonna say I know exactly what it is.
It is by far my favorite game of all time.
Of all
time! When that came out, I played that. I finished. I beat it. I didn't hang out with friends to beat that game. And if I look back on my deathbed,
It will be time well spent.
yeah, like, and someone asked me, like, oh, you played King's Quest 3 for... I would be like, and it was the happiest I ever was in my life.
I can't argue with you. I'm a big fan of the King's Quest series as well.
A lot of people were very frustrated by that game.
Oh, they were challenging.
And they were frustrating. I mean, just walking down a freaking hill from the castle down to the lands before you got, like, the map that you could transport and stuff was a freaking nightmare.
Oh, and there were and it would kill you in such devious,
cat
stupid
tripping
ways.
over cats, or like you said, the rock was in the wrong place. You couldn't see if you were going past. But I loved it.
Yeah,
Absolutely loved it.
cool choice. Very cool choice.
Eric's number 1. Oh my goodness. He's bringing beer out for this one.
So I gotta tell people, I'm a little miffed at myself because I wanted to bring stuff out for this. I still have my manuals and the big box and even like the guide, because my number 1 DOS game is Daggerfall. The Elder Scrolls Part 2.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
It's just huge and expansive. And like
Especially
you
for
said,
its time.
you could do anything. All right, I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna wait for midnight and break into the shop. You could do that. You could just ignore the main story and just do.
Which was revolutionary for its time. Like, that was everyone's dream.
Yeah,
That's what you wanted to do.
Could you imagine? Like, wait, this game has a story, but if I don't care about it, I could just
Yeah.
go do my own thing. It's literally thousands of towns, villages, and dungeons to go and visit. The demo for the game was just a little island that's part of Daggerfall.
Right.
And the demo for the game was as big as most full games. I played the demo for like 2 months before I finally bought the game. The one down thing with Daggerfall was that you could technically walk from one city to the next.
Right.
And it could take you hours,
Right.
literally hours at times. But the problem is there was no reason to do that because there's literally nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing in between.
Yeah. So it would just like generate terrain for you to walk through.
Same rock you're passing everywhere.
Yeah. But still, like super revolutionary and in a lot of ways, Daggerfall like changed gaming for me. What I want out of games and what I want out of my PC games, my RPGs and stuff. I couldn't go back.
Right.
Good stuff. So. Hey, Mr. Tig.
Mr. Eric?
Mr. Tig was very cool talking PC game or DOS.
DOS.
I don't know if we completely adhered to the DOS theme. We probably screwed it up somewhere along the way.
I think it was.
I think we were pretty close.
Yeah.
Right. As close as you can get. So yeah, good chatting games with you. Good night, guys.
I have to open this. DOS.
I think that one will do good.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Yes, ma'am. We like to compare notes with Stevie on the new space station.
Are you keeping up with the Commodore? 'Cause the Commodore's keeping up